Hey, what's going on? My name's Sam Price, and every single Friday I do a macro technical analysis video so you can see what's happening in the markets and get a big picture and not get caught up in the smaller time frames. We're going to do Bitcoin dominance, Tether dominance, gold, silver, and more. S&P futures, the NASDAQ, just get a really good picture of what's happening, the dollar. We're going to get it all right now. So come on in, jump on in with me. We're going to start with Bitcoin on Binance. We're going to take a look at this possible bottoming pattern here and see, are we bottoming out for BTC? So we hit the weekly 200 moving average with support and resistance, and it took massive selling. We're talking FTX crash, COVID crash selling, and then even selling on top of that. So it was a massive dumpage to get the price down to these lower prices, and it just feels like it's taking a lot of selling to get this low. So we're looking to see if this weekly candle can close a tweezer bottom. I want to see if we can close a green candle on the weekly. It looks like we possibly could. The bigger picture is as long as this candle, I'd like it to close above this resistance here at 71,005. We can close the monthly above 71.5, leave a deep wick, and then March closes green. We have a chance for a monthly reversal here out of a falling wedge that would break back to the upside. And the measured move of the falling wedge would be the length of this little pole here from wick to wick. And this would kind of say, hey, you might rip back up, and then you could double. We'll see what happens there, but it looks like you could rip back up to the 120s, right? Now you zoom into the daily to see if that's corroborating. And right now the daily is making a bit of a higher low, and it's going to close a bullish engulfing candle today with a nice rip back up to $69,000. I was able to see that this morning. I gave the group the call, and then you can see here on the 4-hour time frame, we got a bit of an Adam and Eve double bottom. So the 4 hours looking like an Adam and Eve double bottom that could break up to the 200 moving average. That's giving me hope that there is going to be a bit of a reversal here for Bitcoin. If you want to be safe, you wait for us to break above 71.5 and you wait for a flag here and take that back up somewhere to $84,000. But I'm looking for the reversal. Bitcoin does say it can reverse, and I'm long right now for Bitcoin. So that's Bitcoin taken care of. Then I want to take a look at the total market cap and all of cryptocurrency and see what's happening there. The total market cap, same story. It's following Bitcoin. It's got the Adam and Eve. It's basically the same chart. The difference between this is, look how it bounced beautifully off the 200 moving average. And look how it's already getting a tweezer bottom here on the 7-day. And we can even look at the weekly and the 5-day here. So you can see your 7-day actually looks interesting. It's got a tweezer bottom with the bounce. 7-day and the weekly, I know the same kind of chart, but one's based off the last 7 days. One closes when the week closes. So they're a little off on days. But, this closes green. We got ourselves a reversal. And it is up to Bitcoin. So we watch Bitcoin. We see what can happen. Your worst case scenario to me is that you go sideways like this. You make some type of bear flag here. And you end up going way lower. So that's the only problem. It doesn't look like, we're going to get it. That could be bearish. But so what you really need to see is in the next 2 weeks, you need to be back above $2.66 trillion. We look at total 3, and this is the entire market cap of all the altcoins, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. And, the fact that they came pretty close to the weekly 200, but the previous resistance is support, I'm looking for the bounce. But this is what I see. Altcoins, it looks like they're going to make a giant inverted head and shoulder and then break out. But it looks like they don't break out until, this year they kind of slowly grind, and then they start to break out in 2027. It looks somewhere in October through November. So it just says it's going to take a long time. So if you bought an altcoin at 700 billion and then it just looks like you're going to be able to get the price at 900, not like months from now. So I think DCAs are good. Scalping is good. And I'd only buy coins that I'd be willing to hold for the next 2 cycles. Solana, Bitcoin, Aster, I think has utility. Hyperliquid has utility. Anything with utility, DeFi involved. Some type of perp dex. This is, I believe, where we're going. AI and all that. You know what I mean? Perp dex is kind of like AI. So it's like fast movement, making connections. And then you can see the bigger picture looks like you're in this massive consolidation. And that would end up taking a bigger move over time. And it's just going to take, going to move. But look, it's going to take to June of 2027 merely to see the peak here. Again, then what happens? Then we have the halving coming in. It's a very interesting dynamic, but it does look like we could get a bounce here for the altcoins. Let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance and see what's happening to Bitcoin dominance. How much money is flowing in or out of Bitcoin, depending. Actually, it looks like Bitcoin dominance could be falling, out of this kind of it's like a descending triangle falling wedge, but it is tight. And Bitcoin's been interesting. It could go either way. The fact that the moving averages are tight and the 200's here. So it looks like, Bitcoin dominance might give up a little bit. which is okay. And that we get some flow into the altcoins and into Ethereum. All right. But it is tight. If it bounces off this bottom channel, you're getting a move. In my mind, Bitcoin dominance usually has to pump first, carries the market. Then we could see a move back down. But, you know, we did hit some high peaks, and it would be nice to see. But look, it also has the Adam and Eve there. So it's kind of following Bitcoin's trajectory. You'd like to see a rush back into Bitcoin and then a lock. So it would make more sense to me that Bitcoin dominance wouldn't dump now. It would actually bounce. Okay. Then you want to look at Tether dominance. I don't know if it's the best time. Now it's time to slowly start the DCA out of Tether, right? I feel like that's a huge high. It's way away from the 21-day moving average. It hit a previous high, a double top. I'm looking for this to double top, make a head and shoulder pattern, drop back to the downside here. Very overbought on the weekly. It's extended. And, you know, now you're going to get a move back down, which really could help Bitcoin a lot. So that's what I'm looking at on US Tether dominance. And then I always kind of run into the DXY there because they're not exactly the same, but they're somewhat correlated. I see a shoulder, head, right shoulder, and a descending triangle. Bitcoin just did this pattern like 2 weeks ago and dumped out of it. I see the same thing for the DXY. This is going to help altcoins, Bitcoin, and everything kind of go back to the upside. So that doesn't look too bad at all either. So I like what I'm seeing there. And then I'll throw in ETH BTC because if ETH Bitcoin can be kind of showing signs of a bounce, ETH has been having a hard time bouncing up against Bitcoin. It really has struggled, but there's a higher low. And so if the whole market recovers, ETH goes back to 4,000, Bitcoin goes back to 100K or even in 90K, and ETH would definitely have a quicker return, right? So ETH Bitcoin would beat up on that idea. This higher low looks interesting. And it's a cup and handle, and it does look like it's time to buy some ETH before it starts to break out against Bitcoin. So it's looking like it's a good buy to exchange a little Bitcoin for Ethereum. I don't do that, but if someone was willing and wanted to take advantage, there does look like Ethereum could pay you in Bitcoin. And what it's saying is, say you put a whole Bitcoin in Ethereum, you switched it right now, you'd make 157%. It would turn it into 1.5 Bitcoin. So looks possible. I don't do it. It's a little risky, but it does look interesting. ETH Bitcoin looking okay. I kind of caveat into gold here, and we talk about gold. And, you know, I'm bullish on gold for a couple reasons. Number one, the dollar doesn't look strong. And if the dollar's going to weaken out, gold's going to continue its move. So I've got a long on gold right now. It's slightly underwater because I put it there. But this is still holding the trend line. I'll delete everything, even make it clear. But this is still holding the trend line. I still like it. You could trade gold on BTCC. All right, that's where I have my gold trade open right now on BTCC. And I'm trading gold there. All right, one of the oldest exchanges in the game, too. They've been around a long, long time. So, and I also have a trade on Bitcoin. Bitcoin, see this Adam and Eve double bottom on the 4-hour time frame? Very interesting. And it suggests that we are going to make a higher low move up. And that's an Adam and Eve. We call this a known reversal pattern, and it has the reversal from here to here. I kind of just showed you, but I'll show you again. It looks like we could get somewhere to 80K. That'd be a nice $10,000 move there for Bitcoin. So, and this is BTCC. You can also trade gold. So you hit gold here and you can trade gold. And I got the gold flag that looks pretty good to me. Very, very tight. Looks like it's going to break out. You can see this trend line holding. Gold actually erupting green. The dollar finally falling off today. And that's what you're looking for all these assets. And that's what I've been planning on. So this looks like gold's on its next tear to the upside. And it's going to start moving again. And I see gold headed to $6,000 an ounce with, you know, geopolitical uncertainty, you know, with the dollar losing value. Gold is just a good bet for governments, big money, war, all that is just pushing people into gold. Another thing about Bitcoin here, I'm trading on Mexi earlier today, is it's above the 200 moving average on the 1-hour time frame. That's a catalyst for a massive move. I've seen it many times. So you could backtest that yourself and see what that will give you, but that's a really good probability for a bump. Take a look at silver. Silver looks like it was kind of possibly going to move with gold, but it got beat up a little bit. Still at the bottom of the trend. You know, there's a lot going on with silver. Like they don't have the contracts. It's getting kind of crazy. Like, or they don't have the silver to actually back up the contracts. So they're going to dump it so they don't have to pay for the contracts, right? But I still see an inverted head and shoulder here. That's likely your higher low. And with the dollar dropping, I'm showing you, like, wouldn't be surprised if silver takes its time, consolidates, but then you see silver somewhere at $193 an ounce. So I don't think this silver run and this gold run are over. The charts convey that I'm likely correct too. So we'll see. Let's take a look at the S&P futures. Had a pretty big sell-off yesterday. I think that was just your entry. Perfect time to get in, and it was. Anyone who bought the dump, beautiful bull div on the 1-hour time frame that screamed hello. and you got the bounce. I see this consolidating and eventually ripping. This is it. This is the flag. I was right on all the other flags, so this is like, and it's probably the best time to get into the S&P before it starts to rip again. I see it going to $7,600, $7,500, you know, somewhere by next September or October. So I'm long S&P. It still looks good to me. I wouldn't be shook of that, especially with the dollar dropping, and I'm long on the NASDAQ. Same idea with this low. I see the bounce back to the upside. I see these as higher low buying opportunities. And then you can see the NASDAQ starting to rip. So you buy here, you put a stop below the 24 low. And I see the NASDAQ can rip all the way to 29,797. I like what I'm seeing with the NASDAQ. So with the dollar dropping, everything seems to be coming back pretty strong. And it looks like we may have bottomed on Bitcoin for now. I'm not saying we might go to 80K and come back down. I don't know if it's the bottom, but it's looking like a temporary bottom for sure. I'm long on it. I'm taking advantage. And my trading group, I gave a beautiful entry yesterday on the 1 minute at 4 in the morning too as well. You can go to cryptolifer.com to find out more. Thank you so much for watching this. This is a top-down analysis of what's happening in the markets, just to kind of show you what's going on and do it pretty quickly so you can get an idea of where we're going on the bigger time frames. If you like this type of TA, I go live every single day, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday nights at 8 p.m. I can't wait to see you there. My name is the Crypto Lifer, Sam Price. Go to cryptolifer.com if you want to find out more. Follow me at CryptoLifer33 on X. And I'm around. I'm always around. I'm on the internet. I'm here every single day. God bless you. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so grateful that you came to watch my show. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. If you came to my channel, then you're already doing the right thing. Crypto is life. God bless.